I'm 61 years old. I ain't chasing women like I used to. Oh, I slow dance every now and then. But the point is this. I'm a councilman. And this is the city of Flint. We live in an orderly society. My position is this. I don't have no doubt that this moratorium will pay back people politicking with people's lives, and I despise you, Mr. President, taking away my voice, and I got to come around and act like John Doe citizens, because y'all control a five-member board. Now, I'm not out of order. Whoever's saying that, Ms. Parker, you should be removed. Mr. President, will you get your campaign manager in order?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
What you mean, man? You said one warning. I guess if you don't warn your campaign manager, it'll never be a warning. So she won't be removed. This treatment must stop. Now, so I want
let me say this.
We got a government.
Mr. Mayor, your time
I know your time. Get him out of there. Vote him out. Vote them out.
next speaker. If I can have your attention. Let me have your attention, please. Next speaker.
The next speaker is Colette.
We can fix it. It can be fixed. These folks got to do their job. But if I didn't start speaking, they sit up here like dummies and wouldn't respond. Our rules
Point of
say.
information.
Our
Point
rules
of
say that
information.
you got to hear.
Point of order, Mr. President. Point of order. I want Councilman Mays to refrain from making the type of statements that he is. Just be the best council person you are, and don't talk about any of us, Councilman Mays. Just be the best you can, and stop making those type of comments.
Can I say this?
Let me say this.
One thing I have not recognized, Councilman Mays, he did not get the recognition that he needed from the chairperson.
Well, I work for that man. He's in the first ward. I'm going to respond.
Can you just share with the public, because I did have to answer his question at the end, can you just share with them that we're not up here acting like they're not saying anything, but we generally do not respond until after.
And so that Mr. Mays might have not recognized. Now, what I'm saying is, Mr. Mays, thank you. Because I know what you're doing, and it's not going to work. Okay? Now, it ain't going to work.
Mr. President.
Next speaker.
So, Mr. President, can I now be recognized?
No, we're going to.
That's the problem. I know what you do.
Next.
The rules say we can respond to any speaker.
You did already.
Yeah, but don't act like you know what I'm doing. I know what you're trying to do. I'm just gutsy enough not to let it happen.
Next. Ms. Berger?
And we'll get to it. You don't need a point of information. You got the floor.
No, I don't want the floor.
Well,
One of my five. I
And
just
if we
point
ain't
of
got no
information.
motion on the floor, Ms. Fields. See, if you want to argue with me about rules, you're going to lose.
I
Let me
was
say this.
asked-
Hold up. Now you ain't got the floor. I got it. If I gave you the floor, you don't have to do a point of information. It's not in messing with your 5 minutes because ain't no motion on the floor. So proceed.
I want to thank the people who are here, thank them for all their hard work, but I wonder if they could now leave the room since Janelle can't even see to identify who's
Okay.
speaking.
Ms. Fields, if that's what you want to know, I'm going to say this. We'll help Janelle identify. This is a public meeting. They welcome if you want to move out to the outside so everybody who's still out in the auditorium can hear. We'll entertain that. But right now, if Janelle says something loud, I'm going to hear it. And I'm going to correct it. She's the keeper of the record. So if that was the point of information, I'm going to get back on the track.
What's up? Yeah, Hollywood. You see what we dealing with in Flint? People saying he must, and the mayor downstairs, one he must come upstairs, looking like a penguin, walking, bonehead. What you say? Hey, Mr. Murphy, the big black guy looking at me, but he ain't tickled. Uncle Sam, stand down, at ease. I keep coming back.
I'm going to ask the audience to please respect the people speaking by not laughing or jeering or anything. Thank you. Go ahead. Next public speaker, please.
The next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
That was the dumbest thing ever. I started to cuss, but I told the young lady I wouldn't even cuss, man, telling us we can't laugh. Y'all done lost y'all damn rabbit mind. For real, man.
Delusional.
My name is Beverly Biggs Levy. My name is Beverly Biggs Levy. Yeah, spray that, yeah. Yeah. I'm here. You guys don't want to give the resident of Flint anything, but it's mighty strange, Quincy. They done redid your whole sidewalk. All the way around, the whole sidewalk. They just did it last week when we went by, they were digging. The city of Flint was digging, but you don't want to give the residents anything to help them out, but you got your sidewalk done. You really need windows though. You need a windows more than sidewalk. I'm gonna just be honest and tell you the truth. I got my little bag. Judy Priestley. You know, it's tired. Everybody's tired of seeing your titties hanging to the floor. I have you something. And I have the receipt to go buy some. If it ain't big enough, you can go to little more than a handful. Call them, they will open the doors and fit you for what you need. You guys are a joke. A pure joke. When Eric was in that seat, Eric would have never missed a budget meeting, not at one. The Ninth Ward has changed. Eva is no longer, y'all can take Eva down, she was gone on the 20th. Jonathan Jarrett is in that seat. And I know y'all sick. Liddell was over to the school early trying to get, what's his name? Page. It was a joke. Y'all didn't tell him where to go, to Jonathan where to go. And there was only 17 people that went over there and gave Page some leverage. That's sad. But we're working on it. Quincy, I'm not far from you. Mashak, you history. It's sad to say you are history. But we're gonna change these seats. We are gonna change these seats. We're gonna make you guys wake up and you're gonna do right by the people, or you are not gonna be in them seats. You can't change them. We will change them. I'm gonna sit this in the window for you, Judy. If you don't want it, we'll give it to AT&T and she'll talk about it in the morning.
In the DDA account.
Right now, they lost about $560,000 last year, and that's what we're proposing to cover.
Mr. Woodson, this is your warning. Go ahead.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
Okay, there's appeal to the ruling of the chair. Is there support?
I'll support her appeal.
Okay, there's, let me double check the appeal process, just to see who speaks first. I believe that the person who makes the appeal speaks first. Go ahead, Ms. Burns, you have 1 minute.
These rules are BS. Mr. Woodson wasn't even talking to anyone. He was just talking to someone over there, across there. The trigger happiness to warn people, you can't laugh, you can't talk to people 3 seats between you. It has to stop. It has to stop. This is like, it's not a school. These are grown adults. They don't have to be quiet because they're in here like that.
When they can't hear, they need clarification.
I'm sorry, who is the?
To amend the charter. Because I think the charter commission, I know them. I know Miss McGee, I know Quincy, don't tell nobody I know Quincy, I know Mr. Richardson. I think it's derogatory for you to call me a disgrace. Warn yourself. Do I need to put a motion on the floor to remove you from chair? And I so move. I'm not going to argue with you when you attacking me. I make a motion to remove you as chair for calling me a disgrace. I ain't no disgrace. Pastor Mays didn't born no disgrace. The first ward didn't elect no disgrace. I'm tired of y'all. So I make a motion to remove you as chair for calling me a disgrace unless you let me finish making my Sambo and handkerchief head argument. I get to use them words when I'm arguing what I view y'all to be, hypocrites, Sambos, and handkerchief heads. And at the end, people gonna vote. If Piper and Priestley and them believe you ain't a handkerchief head, so be it.
There is a motion on the floor. No.
Then you're not going to warn me in the middle of no whatever. Y'all speaking up, you're out of order. Y'all got the wrong one. I'm not going to sit and argue with folks who try to discriminate against me.
Mr. Mays,
Beg your pardon?
Mr. Mays, you have received your second warning.
Okay, I'm making a motion to remove you as chair for that in the middle of me describing and trying to win an appeal. I'm going to use Sambo, handkerchief head, and all of that. Madam Chair, as these council people discuss that appeal, you shouldn't be using privilege motions to argue and debate facts. Mr. Murphy was out of order. You are out of order. And that's the different treatment or lack of understanding or hypocritism. Discrimination and different treatment on privilege motions is unlawful. And so you need to recognize and rule on this point whether or not you're doing that with folks and whether he's doing it. If you can't see that, that's problematic.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. Point of order denied. The chair will not allow misinformation to go forward, so therefore I will utilize my privilege motion opportunity.
Point of order.
Thank you.
Point of order. A privilege motion is not to argue what you call good or bad information. If she says something, when you get closing arguments, you don't use a privilege motion talking about the chair will not allow bad information. That ain't what it is. You're dead wrong. And if you adopt and don't understand that, we got a generation in trouble.
Thank you.
So that your point of order, you just made my point. That ain't what it's for.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. Anyone else would like to speak on the appeal?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Burns.
When you're chairing a meeting, it is the job and responsibility of the chair to remain impartial and fair. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. You lost your point when you went on the attack with him by calling him a disgrace. Then you went on to make references to Councilwoman Murphy Carter and her past by using the privilege motion. What you did not do was take an accountability. Even our last meeting, you called him, he wasn't classy because he had an unlit cigarette. You do make what people do consider to be petty remarks. You do. He never says anything to you when you're over there if you're eating. He never says that when you're eating. He doesn't say when you're eating, you have a sandwich you're eating or something that's in front of you. But his cigarette, you made it a point and you stood up.
What this has dissolved to, it is 9:03. We have not yet gotten to any resolution because instead of actually attacking the issues, we consistently attack each other. We don't all get along. We aren't all perfect. And we got to quit trying to get each other in this gotcha game. It's okay if we don't get along, but it's not okay to be disrespectful. It is not okay to sit in these chambers and try to call people on this council out of their name, and especially in such horrible ways.
Point
People
of
have been
information.
consistently.
What's your point?
Was it proper for you to use a privilege motion and ask Mr. Murphy, was he a murderer when I was a
No,
speaker?
it wasn't, Mr. Mays, and I'm the first person to admit that. However, what I did not do was turn around and dehumanize somebody by calling them a dog or a snake, which are both things that you have said directly to me, both in these chambers and back in the council offices.
Point of information. Was it human for you to want to take presidency and vote me out and didn't ever vote? Was
Mr.
that
Mays,
human? That's
whatever
really
conspiracy
degrading, ain't
theory
it?
you have about this is entirely up to you. Okay, I'm going to finish my appeal, and I'm going to finish by saying we don't have to get along, but we have to act like adults, and we have got to stop calling each other names and wasting 5 hours of everybody's time, because it's 5 hours that we aren't discussing the business.
Point
It's
of
5
information.
hours.
What's your point?
If you had have been here and the council had have been here for the special meeting, we might not have still be here because we'd have had that ARPA business out the way Saturday. Do you think? If we didn't waste time, you saying this was a waste of time today? Clarify for me.
I will clarify for you, Mr. Mays. First of all, I was never contacted regarding that meeting on Saturday. Perhaps I was doing something, which, oh, by the way, I was. Secondly, 5 hours of productivity is totally different than 5 hours of arguing with each other over nothing. Over nothing.
Point of
These comments
information.
are...
You think race and getting put out of meetings and folks arguing with the audience about race ain't nothing? This race argument been going on for a while, hasn't it?
Mr. Mays,
That was
is
a total
something to
manipulation
some
of what I
people.
just said. That was a total manipulation. Sorry.
no, it's fine. Mr. Mays, you are abusing points of information to gain the floor. Ms. Herkenroder, please proceed.
Thank you. I will finish my comments by saying I will support the chair, because these comments are incredible. It's okay. You don't have to agree with me, but you don't have to act like that. It's okay. It is okay.
Beg your pardon. Point of
it is okay
information.
that
What
don't
are
have
you
to-
saying to me?
I said it is okay that you don't have to agree with me. That's fine.
We
But you don't have to
that
act
point
like
of
that. You don't have to
information.
do
Mr. Mays,
that.
you don't have the floor.
Point of information. Just come out the clear blue sky and say, your 5 minutes is up. I'm a councilman. Make the motion, and if the colleagues vote on, Mr. President, first get order so we can talk business.
Your time is expired, Mr.
Oh, I know it. Why you say my, but Mr. President,
Mr. Davis,
Mr. President, Mr. President, why don't you just say my council term is up and I'm no longer councilman? Why don't you just do that?
that's not my decision. That is not my decision.
This guy got power, don't he? You know, this guy ain't a councilman no more.
Mr. Davis, on you.
Just take my whole councilship away. You got that much power? You making yourself look politically and rule stupid today. Your time is up. You're no longer a councilman. You don't represent people. Shut up and go home. You are very powerful.
On you, Davis.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. What I want the audience to really truly understand, after all of this commotion and all the things that may look dysfunctional, I want you to understand that this moratorium is bringing relief to the...
So don't think that your teeth had to fall out like mine. No, I didn't burst them like I said. I'm just kidding. But people done have problems. The point is this. I'm serious. I was serious when I fought and said declare the emergency. It worked.
Residents, we're tired of the verbal abuse. We're tired of abuse on the women in our council, and we say no to verbal abuse from any council member. And if this goes any further, we have zero tolerance right now.
I'm going to ask for a 5-minute recess without objection. I'm calling for a 5-minute recess without objection. Just arrest and get a felony, I will be suing. Now here you're removed in the middle of an appeal. I'm glad the appeal wasn't exhausted. That's what I'm glad about.
We tried to, but you're disorderly
Miss
conduct.
Galloway, don't taunt at me. Please. You're unprofessional. y'all are legally wrong. If Kendall, Paps, Lenoff, somebody, I'll do it in pro per. Yeah, I would never resist arrest and be called out for a felony. When an officer asks me to do something, I don't resist. It's a felony. And when you can be removed from your seat that you've been elected to and ain't committed a rule violation, it's a sad day in the city of Flint. And it's being orchestrated by Galloway, Winfrey. It looks like the clerk, the staff. Yeah, I see it. Thank you. And just remember Proverbs, 3rd chapter, 5th and 6th verse. Lean not to your own understanding. No, that's not me. God bless you.